Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a new toolkit that promises to let anyone, even non-coders, build their very own specialized expert AI. It's a pretty bold claim, so let's see how it actually works.
First things first, let's talk about a problem that I'm sure you've run into if you've spent any time with AI. You know, when even the most advanced large language models, or LLMs, can be so confident and yet so wrong.
In the AI world, there's a name for this. It's called hallucination. It's basically when the model just invents facts out of thin air. And honestly, this is the single biggest roadblock to trusting AI with really high-stakes stuff, Things that demand total accuracy, like legal advice, financial analysis, or even medical diagnoses.
So how do we fix this? How do we stop an AI from just making things up? Well, the leading solution is this really clever technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short.
The best way to picture RAG is to think of it like giving the AI an open book test. Instead of just relying on whatever it's managed to memorize from its training, the AI gets connected to a specific external library of facts. This forces it to ground its answers in real, verifiable information, not just its own, sometimes faulty memory. The whole process is actually pretty elegant and simple. First, you ask a question. The system then zips over to its knowledge base and retrieves the most relevant documents. Then, and this is the important part, only then does it generate an answer, using those facts it just found as its guide. But of course, there's a catch. While the idea behind RAG is super straightforward, actually building one of these custom systems from scratch, well, until now, it's been incredibly difficult, especially if you're not a top-tier AI developer.
I mean, think about it. You've got to wrestle with all sorts of different data formats, PDFs, databases, you name it. Then you have to get a bunch of complex moving parts to all talk to each other without breaking. And to top it all off, the field is changing so fast that just keeping up with the latest models feels like a full-time job.
And this table really lays it all out. It shows the existing tools and reveals a pretty critical gap. You see, while some of them are powerful, almost all of them are missing a simple user interface, and more importantly, this key feature called knowledge adaptation, the ability to really truly make the AI an expert in one specific field.
And this is exactly the problem that a new toolkit called UltraRAG was built to solve. It's designed from the ground up to be a complete, all-in-one solution. This diagram here shows you the whole shebang. This is the UltraRAG architecture. It's an end-to-end platform that automates the entire process, and it's all built around a few key, really smart stages.
It all kicks off with these powerful management modules. On one side, you've got knowledge management, which lets you just easily upload all your expert documents. On the other, you have model management, where you can pick and choose the exact AI models you want to use.
Okay, so once you've done that, UltraRAG basically takes over and does all the heavy lifting. It automatically structures your data for you, it fine-tunes the AI models on that data, and it even helps you test and evaluate how well your new, specialized AI is doing. It really handles the entire lifecycle from start to finish.
So the real magic here is this concept of knowledge adaptation. All you have to do is provide the expert documents, your domain-specific corpus, and UltraRAG automatically fine-tunes the entire system to think like an expert in that specific field.
And this screenshot shows exactly how they pull this off for people who don't code. It's all run through this clean, super simple web interface. You're selecting models, uploading knowledge, and training your system with just a few clicks. No command line needed.
But, the million-dollar question is, does this actually work in the real world? So, to find out, the creators put it through its paces in the incredibly complex field of law.
And the results? They're pretty darn clear. They tested a standard off-the-shelf RAG system against one that was fine-tuned using UltraRAG on legal questions. And as you can see, the UltraRAG system got a significant performance boost. It wasn't just a tiny bit better. It was measurably, noticeably more accurate.
Now this is where the rubber really meets the road. When they asked about a very specific labor law issue, the standard AI just gave a generic answer and cited the completely wrong article. But the UltraRAG AI, the one that was trained on that legal knowledge base, it correctly identified the super niche issue and cited the exact specific regulation that applied. I mean, that's the difference between a helpful tool and a dangerously misleading one.
And all of this brings us to the real takeaway here. The long-term impact of a tool like UltraRAG, it's actually much bigger than just one AI model.
What this technology really does is it demolishes the barrier to entry. It makes it possible for the actual domain experts, the lawyers, the doctors, the financial analysts, to build their own incredibly accurate and reliable AI assistants, perfectly tailored to whatever they need.
And we're talking about handling knowledge on a massive scale. For that legal case study, the system was trained on a knowledge base of over 1,000 law books. And UltraRAG just managed it, processed it, and adapted the AI to that entire library. It's incredible.
So that leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. If the power to build a true expert AI is no longer locked away in a few giant tech labs, but is actually in the hands of experts everywhere, what kind of amazing new innovations and applications is that going to unlock? Really, what comes next?